our studios today is Carl Wasinger, and Carl is the new owner of the Caves, but his business is called Smart Warehousing, which I am so excited, Carl. You don't know how much it means to me to have these caves with a great new owner and hiring new people, bringing truckloads of merchandise into our Atchison area. Tell me a little bit about Smart Warehousing. My viewer or my listening public would love to hear about it.
Well, I appreciate you having me today and a chance to talk a little bit about smart warehousing. We're excited about being in Atchison. We're excited about the area, and we have operated warehouses and distribution centers in the Kansas City area. So this isn't that much further away. It's getting closer all the time, we think. So it's an interesting property, and we have another underground facility in Independence, Missouri, so we're already familiar with some of the good and the bad of an underground property. And so we felt like this would be a good fit and give us another area to expand our warehousing and fulfillment services in the Kansas City market.
You are all over the country, and even don't you have a facility in Canada too?
We have we have a couple locations, a couple affiliate that we work with in Canada, one in Toronto and one in Vancouver.
But you have facilities all over the United States and Hawaii. Now that must be a tough duty.
We we don't have very many problems when we need to do an inventory in Hawaii. It's easy to get somebody to go to Hawaii.
Yeah,
really.
I bet.
We help a couple retail clients in Hawaii, and so we do a little bit of work there for our customers. And so
But this is such a great concept, and this is kind of your brainchild, isn't it?
Well, the technology behind smart warehousing certainly is kind of the differentiation piece to warehousing has been around a long time. Having warehousing work easy and be very customer focused and integrated was always the challenge. And so the economics works well when you can take a facility and share multi-clients and get some real efficiencies going. And so that's the technology allows us to do that.
So you create your company created this software.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
That basically tracks inventory, lets clients and customers know what they've got in the warehouse.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about this whole technology. Go into a little more depth on it, if you could.
So in the kind of olden days, I guess you might want to say before the internet, the only way to communicate with a warehouse to give them instructions on what to do, you could fax information, or you had to have a pretty rigid standard operating procedure for what they could do, and it didn't allow you very much flexibility. And so a lot of clients don't have locations where they need warehouses. A lot of clients want to expand into different business channels and offer different services to sell their products. And they need a software or a company that has a software that can customize around their unique business. Smart warehousing, what we call SWIMS, the Smart Warehouse Information Management System, was developed really to be a kind of an electronic catcher's mitt. We take the data, the information that they need us to provide those services, and so we kind of smash technology and warehouse services together. And that really has been allowed us to offer a lot of neat things that sometimes our competitors can't offer.
And I'm so impressed with you because you kind of saw this was something that was a niche that needed to be filled, right?
Well, I think so. I remember, I was sitting in college and I remember if some these containers and offshore manufacturing and felt like those containers had to be unloaded somewhere. Some warehouse somewhere was going to have to deal with that inventory and deal with getting that to the next level. And it's such a big part of the economy. I mean, and we hear sometimes it's 15 or 20% of everything. The cost of everything is logistics and warehousing and transportation and
getting it to the client, getting it to the customer,
getting it to the customer, and from raw goods to finished goods. And so, and there's so many new ways that you can get products to the clients. And the internet and e-commerce has been a huge driver, and so we're excited to be kind of at the forefront of that kind of service offering.
And one of the things that you were talking about is providing almost like a mini Amazon here in Atchison, where you would ship products from different vendors.
A lot of clients, they have a website, they have an e-commerce presence, and they're selling, any kind of product that you can imagine on the internet today, and it gets shipped out, through FedEx or through UPS or through some kind of parcel service. And a lot of them are really good at marketing, really good at design, really good at manufacturing, but maybe the logistics and supply chain activities aren't their core competency. So they hire us to do that. And the SWIM Smart program allows them to really give them speed to that transaction, because when people buy on the internet today, they want it fast.
Right.
They want it to ship
want it
out the
next day.
next day and same day. And so what we're doing is we're allowing the client and the brand and the client to have a relationship, and we're kind of invisible in the middle. Most of the time, you don't know Smart Warehousing shipped it. You just know that you bought it from ABC company, and it shows up on your front door. We've done all the picking and packing and inventory management, and we've helped them with replenishment and all the things they need to do for their business. But most of the time, the customer doesn't know we're there, and that's our plan. We kind of want to be invisible.
Folks would have shipping power through you because you would ship a lot of product versus them shipping 2 or 3 products out of a
Right.
facility
We
on
can
a daily
we can
basis.
if we can bring a lot of companies together in one location, kind of a fulfillment mall, if you will, and we can do that much more economical than if you had to have 25 companies with their own warehouses and their own forklifts and their own security and their own, individual systems. We can create a great economy or great economics by bringing all those together and sharing all that and doing that service for them. So the economics work well, and the technology's allowed that to work well today.
It's win-win all the way around.
And I think that's one of the reasons why there's so many people are really doing it now. Companies that have the technology to support that information and that data, I think ultimately are going to be the ones that win and continue to provide the service and are competitive. And we feel like we're right in the right spot right now, because that's something that we can control, something that we can continue to develop, and be on the cutting edge all the time.
And your whole team, what a great team.
Thank you.
I know you're
Thank you.
related to some of them.
Yep, we have a few
Couple of
family.
your brothers are
Yep,
working with you.
Couple of family in the business as well, and that's been great. We're 13 years old. When on Labor Day, actually, we turned 13. We're a fairly young business, but we've grown a lot. We have 6.5 million square feet around the country right now, and almost 1,000 customers that we help fulfill orders for, and really everything from full truckloads to one item or one thing that needs to go to somebody's house.
And so many employees. Look how much you've grown in that 13-year period.
I think around the country now we're between 300 and 400 employees right now, so it continues to grow.
And Atchison, I think you've doubled the number of people.
I think we started with 4, and I think we're at 8, 7 or 8 right now. So.
And you're doing some construction and some things down there. Tell me about what's going on at the
So
cage
it's
right now.
kind of a unique property, and so getting the trucks in and out, and the way you have to move product in and out of that operation is a little different than maybe a normal warehouse that you might build on the surface. And so we're putting in some docks. We're reconfiguring. We brought in some engineering, and we kind of looked at how we could expand that and make that a little more conducive for the kind of operations professional warehouse company needs to provide. And so we're going to be doing some dirt work and putting in some concrete and putting up some different kind of dock configurations, and we hope that creates some efficiency for us and allows us to get the trucks in and out quicker. So.
I tell you, I agonized over this because I had the caves listed, and I really wanted it to have a good parent, and I think we found it in Smart Warehousing.
We're excited, like I said earlier, to be here, and I'm glad they picked up the phone and called us and said, "Hey, come look at this."
Your employees are just thrilled. The guys that you've
Sure.
you've continued
Sure.
to employ are thrilled about it, and so I know you've got a lot of things going on. What do you see happening in the future out there?
Well, it's going to take us a little while to kind of work out the bugs and get some of the infrastructure put in place. But we think it's by this time next year, we're hoping that we kind of have our sea legs, so to speak, for this facility. We've added a few clients already, so you'll see some trucks coming in and out of Atchison. We have half a dozen e-commerce type companies that are slated to come up here between now and September, October, so that we can get ready for the holiday season, because that's when they're always so busy. And so that'll give us a good kind of practice run for 2015, and then hopefully 2016 we're really ready to grow and expand and continue to offer those services.
But I'll tell you,
2016.
when I pull up and there's half a dozen cars or trucks lined
Yep.
up and 4 in the bay, 20 trucks a day is about what you're averaging?
Right now, we've got a client that's bringing in quite a little bit of product, and so I think their average is about 20. I think we'll probably have 1,000 plus loads in there between now and October, and it's a good client to test all of our systems and get the employees trained and get everyone working down there. Great staff. We couldn't be happier with the folks that are working
Don't we
down
have
there.
some good folks around here?
You guys do. We just, great work ethic with, they're not afraid to jump in and get stuff done, and people that can see what needs to be done are versus somebody you have to tell, what to do. It's such a refreshing
big difference.
Big difference.
Big difference between somebody who's just physically there and somebody who's thinking all the time.
And I grew up in a small town, so this doesn't feel too foreign for me. This is great, and we grew up with that kind of work ethic, and we grew up with my dad telling me, hey, you need to be able to see what needs to be done. So that creates good customer service. I mean, we make a lot of promises to our clients that we're going to take care of their products and get them shipped out where they need to go, and that they get the right thing at the right place at the right time, and it takes a lot of people to make that work the way it needs to work.
Well, and Smart Warehousing continues to grow. I mean, this is your newest acquisition.
Right.
But you continue to grow in all your other facilities.
Yep. Last year we expanded into Houston, Texas, and then this year again here in Kansas City to expand. We just added some more space in Southern California. We did another 300,000 square feet there that the lease is just getting finished up on. So yeah, we're continuing to grow. We're averaging about a client or a customer almost every day so far this year. That's how fast we're adding new business.
And you know what? You told me that you're not advertising or marketing. This is all word of mouth. We don't
do a lot of marketing. It's kind of a tough concept to go find somebody to sell it to. So you find business in so many different ways. So it might be a CFO of a company, it might be a logistics person of a company, it might be a transportation person, it might be an owner. And so a lot of the business we get today is through referral. A lot of the business we get today is word of mouth and people talking about what we can do. And some of our biggest cheerleaders are UPS and FedEx and companies that say to their clients, hey, if you need some kind of customized help or you have some situations or the technology, you can't find somebody to help you figure it out. A lot of times we can do all those kind of complicated, weird, goofy supply chain things that a lot of people don't want to do.
But that's what Teresa McInerney will tell you. Every entrepreneur can't be perfect at everything. You need the marketing, you need the finance, you need the logistics, you need the process, and you're just supplying a great niche need. I think that's going to propel your company forward consistently over the next few years.
Well, we sure hope so. I mean, it's kind of like banking, where maybe people used to bury money in their backyard. They use a bank. We're hoping that people, instead of building their own warehouses, they just hire us to do it for them.
And when the cost of building a warehouse and then hiring a staff, just that whole process, if you can simplify it and create a great software program, because from what you're telling me, they can check their inventory, they can place orders, they can do everything, and probably from their smartphone.
Yeah, you can do it all on mobile devices now, which is amazing that you can get that much data.
Isn't technology cool?
It's just crazy how fast it's moving, and we have a group that really does a great job for Smart Warehousing. The gentleman who helped develop that has been with me since the beginning and continues to come up with creative ways to do solutions. But yeah, you see your inventory, you see your orders, you know where they are, you know how many you need to order, you know the volume, you know the speed, and really it's real time and at the touch of a button, and it's just amazing what people can learn about their business today. That instead of having to see it with their own eyes, they can do it over their smartphone.
Carl, can you believe our 15 minutes is up?
I could faster than I thought.
Listen to you forever. So. I feel so blessed that we've got you here in town. You got to come back in about a year and tell me where Smart Warehousing is going and what you're doing.
We'll do it.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
And remember, call me for everything real estate. 367-3116.